This is addressed to Jeff Taylor of the BPI. Thanks to STB for the beat, the BPI's VIP in a quick to fight with TPB. But P2P's too deep to preclude. Don't you see? You can't stop it, you won't stop it, you won't block it. Find another way to lie and line your own pocket. Most of us are composed a lot, no profit. 99% of us will never have a pop hit. It's not rocket science, so don't knock it. And don't pretend like you're being philanthropic. Talent isn't rare, it doesn't need protection. Any claim to the contrary is pure condescension. A condeception, the wrong perception, propagated by a proper dong, it's evident. Go to any pub in any town, in any county, and count the musicians doing it without need for some rubes in suits, shitting on our scene and sticking in the boot. So you can stop telling me stuff, put your money where your mouth is, and take a salary cut. Cause I'll happily put all your cash into the hat of a busker the BPI doesn't give a fuck for.
You know, I've seen you in your Rolls Royce in your house in Barbados. Don't come to me moaning like this. I am in a profession that is overpaid and overpraised and overpampered. And yes, I have pirated software. I will admit it. And if that's a shock announcement, then how naive can you be? You're not either a pirate or a good citizen.
Look, I've studied your justifications of what you seem to think. There couldn't be a clearer case of circular reasoning. You judge talent by how well they're selling, but they're only selling from how well you're selling them. You think Adele'd have reached where she was without the media machine feeding the buzz. You say artists should get paid for the work they do, but you only care about the ones that bring in revenue. If the bottom line is the sign of a good artist, then why the need to manipulate the market? So pro-laissez-faire, you recommend protectionism. Where's your decision on which method it is or isn't? The only way you're in today's position is through decades of ripping off and plagiarism. But now the next generation's risen, you're complaining, hey, we need to change the system. These crazy kids and their disco dancing, it isn't legitimate if we haven't cleared the sampling. But surely sampling is always a bad thing, not just when the bank accounts need balancing. And if MCs are paid related to their talent, how come I make a fraction of what T-Pain is selling? If I remade a ballad with she named the amorous teenager Daniel to be famous now, but it isn't gonna happen, so I'll stick to doing rapping with integrity, something your industry is lacking.
They have a lot of audacity accusing children of stealing music when they've been robbing artists for years. It's just an embarrassment for them to be using the word steal when realistically speaking, they're the biggest thieves and gangsters in this entire business. They make everybody that rhymes about doing gangster shit look pathetic in terms of the amount of money that they've stolen and the amount of culture that they've robbed from our people.
Ask any MC or composer, piracy, yes please. It's the only method I know to get my VSTs. Nothing's proportionate, the prices are extortionate. To lawfully produce, only a portion can afford the stuff. I'm sure that cutting off connections and dealing bands would leave the music scene desolate, completely bland. Innovation comes from underground, where there ain't much money round, so we resort to lawlessness to make the funny sounds. And then of course all that goes around comes around. The majors wander round and plunder from the underground. See, you need us as much as we need you, and that might not be much depending on your view. I was on the tube once and overheard a conversation between two rec execs planning exploitation. A singer had passed on, so they tacked a crap track onto the back catalogue and laughed a lot. I thought, I can't believe it, this is a mix-up. I'm literally listening to paint a vulgar picture. The BPI can leave a site on the net censored, an incredibly terrible threat to the tech sector. Now there's an industry that really needs fighting for. They're the future, you're just a wounded dinosaur.
But a lot of the time the reason that people pirate is they want access to good music, and they don't get it because the radio station. The little indie store shut down like 4 years ago, and people can't buy the record they wanted to buy, and they have to swap music with their friends because it's the only way to do it, because nobody touches the weird. They started playing it on the radio here because it was out on the net.
Burn it up, share it with your friends, I don't care how you hear it, as long as you hear it. Music should be shared. The only part about music that I dislike is the business that is attached to it. Now, if music is free, then there is no business. There is just music.
Tchaikovsky didn't need the BPI. Stravinsky didn't need the BPI. Verdi didn't need the BPI. Vivaldi didn't need the BPI. Rossini didn't need the BPI. Debussy didn't need the BPI. Puccini didn't need the BPI. So why do we need the BPI? I don't need the BPI. Homeless busker doesn't need the BPI. British music doesn't need the BPI. The future doesn't need the BPI. You don't need the BPI. We don't